Awesome.
Eastern Illinois head coach Adam Cushing, the Panthers will have the open date this week, the next to last week of the regular season. So they're coming off a loss at Austin Peay, but they will be back at home when they play again next week. They'll close out the season by hosting Murray State. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, we played some decent football this past Saturday, but and our defense, forced some turnovers, which is huge for us. But you don't win any football games that you throw to their team a bunch of times. And obviously that was a big difference in the game. And obviously the quarterback's always going to get all the blame there in the public, but it's not all on them. Certainly, really proud of Zach Weir for stepping in and first start ever, and performing pretty capably in his first start. Again, a couple of mistakes that he would love to have back, but and obviously it just has kind of been our theme of our season is we then put the defense back on the field too much and against a really, really explosive offense over there. And they took advantage, but I guess where I'm most proud of our guys is just continuing to show up and practice and play their butt off. You said it's the bye week here, late in the year. Never really experienced this one. It's a little different, especially where we're at, with our season. But I think it's all about how do we go out for these seniors, right? We got a great group of guys that are going to play their last game in a Panther uniform next Saturday. How do we really, just do everything we possibly can to send them out the right way? And that's what we're focused on right now, is help these guys have a great memory their last time playing here at O'Brien.
Thanks, Coach. Dan, if you'd like to go ahead with anything you have, feel free.
Morning, Adam.
Morning.
So you mentioned Zach, getting the start. What kind of put him at the forefront to be in that position, as opposed to other quarterbacks you had on the roster?
Well, just his continued prep. He's a guy that works his tail off. That just shows up every day. Looks to get 1% better. He's a really mentally sharp. Handled a lot of the stuff that we were doing, and tried to keep it simple for him. But he made some big throws, some big timing and ball placement throws. And obviously just the health of the room, we've got to get guys back healthy, but just so happy that the way that he stepped in and performed, because he got himself in the mix here with, moving forward. He showed that he can step in and play in the game.
I know you've talked about Zach since almost day one, since he came to Eastern. What right now, knowing that he's, kind of an inexperienced player, but right now, what do you see as his best part of his skill set, I guess?
Zach Weir?
Yes.
Yeah. He's got great ball speed. He really does. He's got a nice arm. And I think the best thing that he does is he really is really good student of the game. Like the mental side of the game, he's really good at, has a good understanding of coverage changes post snap. And I think that's where you saw him take advantage of some stuff, do a really nice job managing a few things. Again, everybody wants a few plays back, and I know he's got a few that he'd love to have back, and decisions he wish he wouldn't have made. But you look, for the most part, he was pretty efficient, and again, that comes from how hard he studies and just how sharp he is.
I got one more, and then I'm going to step out of the way for Kyle. But you mentioned it's kind of unique here. You've got this open date, and then the final game. Is that another opportunity to kind of get in some guys that, maybe we haven't seen this year, or you haven't had the opportunity to see much this year, that final game?
Maybe a little bit. I think in the end, it's about winning the football game. I said that it's really about this group of seniors and sending them out the right way, right? It's making sure that every time we step on the field, doesn't matter, that we're gonna play to win, right? And we're gonna play as hard as we possibly can for as long as we possibly can. It'd be important to get some momentum for that off season and have the guys understand what we're capable of. And so maybe a little bit, but probably more health related, right? This late in the year of just you see it everywhere, right? The team we just played didn't have a couple of their best players, right? Everybody this late in the year. And I think it is somewhat of a reality, right? You look at FCS football that played back in the spring, right? There's just there's an attrition effect that's going on right now, and I think that that it'll be more about that than trying to get guys in the game if they haven't earned it.
Appreciate that.
You're talking about the interceptions. What part of it though is too is that Austin P has a really good secondary that they lead the country in turnovers gained, which is they have over 20, which is very impressive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. They made some plays in the ball too, right? It wasn't just thrown directly to them on all of them. They did a nice job in their coverage, and so I think it's a little bit of both, right? You know, again, I think if you ask Zach, and obviously Otto got in there a little bit. If you ask those guys a couple throws they'd love to have back, or put just, you know, maybe a little bit different ball the way they threw it as much as anything else. Just knowing who they had back there, right? Knowing who P has in that secondary, I think the ball has to be a little bit different in order to make it an us or nobody throw, not an us or them throw.
And Isaiah obviously had another good game again this week. He's caught passes from different people, obviously this year since he's been back. Is there anything said to like chemistry with one quarterback versus another? I know you said last week he's such a hard worker that, or is it just, you know, whoever's in there, he does what it takes to get open?
Yeah, I think it's the second one, right? I mean, you see, it doesn't matter. He's just got, you know, another thing for a receiver. He's got speed. He's a technician. He loves running routes and perfecting that, but it's just he tracks the ball in the air so darn well. You look at some of those deep throws that he has to run under, and those are the ones, you know, that we shot early in the game to get us out of a hole. Great throw by Zach, but a great job tracking it. And I was like, put it us or nobody, but truly us is Zay, right? Is his ability to track it and run under it. So he's one of those guys. He's going to show up and play. It doesn't matter. Could be me out there at quarterback, and I'd look, less like a penny and more like maybe $1 quarterback with him out there.
Last one, and we'll let you go. Since you all played that week 0 game, this is really your second open date in the middle of the season. I mean, that's uncharacteristic too, and some weirdness. Is there anything to be said to that? And did you learn anything the first open date that will work for this one, or since it's totally different part of the season, does that not matter?
Yeah, no, I don't know that it matters as much. Certainly, you know, you try and have some consistency for the kids, and so as much as anything, just making sure that the young men still have a little bit of time to just gather themselves, right? Because you have that tendency, you're looking for that balance, right? And I think the biggest thing is, you know, as I just mentioned, we're pretty beat up, right? As every team in the country is. We don't need to be beating them up like crazy this week, right? They've had all through August, and you mentioned, right, a week 0 game all the way until now to hit. A few more hits isn't going to be as productive as some great mental reps out on the practice field, and then build, you know, come into that practice week next week against a really good football team, way more body fresh, mentally, physically. I think will make a big difference. So that's kind of how we're approaching it: is get a bunch of great reps, just not beat each other up while we do it.
Dan, do you have anything else? Are you good?
I'm good. Thank you both.
Adam, thanks so much for your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday and the bye week, and then we'll talk to you next week before your last game.
Sounds great. Have a great one. Go Panthers.
Thanks, Coach.